If you hold Ripple's XRP, stablecoins as we know it, like USDT, are virtually dead men walking. The USDT implosion is about to start over in the European Union, and you need to be ready for it if you live in any other country around the globe. In this video, what we're going to be talking about is the Bank for International Settlements and their secret plan for the new financial system. And it's not what you think. And we're also going to talk about global liquidity and how it's going to affect Bitcoin, how it's going to affect XRP and the rest of the altcoin market. And also what's happening behind closed door meetings that is projected to propel the crypto market forward the rest of this year going into 2025, and what the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, has to say about crypto for this entire year that you do not want to miss. You know, right now we're out here in beautiful Lisbon, Portugal on our next destination, and I'm going to keep you guys up to date on the channel on what's going on. So make sure you comment 777 if you're feeling bullish, comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, and if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, you know what to do. Confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it.
It is hard to see how useful financial innovation can really move forward. We have labeled our vision for the future financial system the Finternet. I will leave it to Nandan to expand on it and explain the more technical aspects. But let me provide a broad overview. The Finternet is a vision of multiple financial ecosystems that connect with each other, much like the internet. It aims to empower individuals and businesses by placing them at the center of their financial lives. The application of technology has meant that tasks that were once expensive and time-consuming, like making an overseas phone call or booking an hotel room in an unfamiliar city, can now be done with the flick of a finger. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also we will have the technology to enforce that.
All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So today we are diving into the Finternet to guide you about what to happen next for the blockchain. So let's go. Today's the day. It's your big day, and you better be ready for what's about to happen next. All right, because what is the Finternet? What does that even mean? With financial technology absolutely changing over the next 10 to 20 years, there's a lot of people out there that are blind to it. They're not seeing what's happening, and I'm seeing exactly what's happening. You guys right now that are subscribed to the channel are seeing exactly what's happening right in front of your eyes, and we're going to discuss it in this video because right now with crypto, it is absolutely disgusting. Bitcoin is getting destroyed. Right now it's at $60,000. Hey, depending on when you're watching this video, it might be below 60K. So when I talk about the bull run and I talk about what's about to happen next, I want you to understand that I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have to insult your intelligence. You obviously understand that. I'm just some dude drinking white out here in Portugal, and I'm not going to provide any guarantees in the crypto market. Crypto's risky. In fact, you could lose all of your money. I've lost all of my money. I've lost millions of dollars multiple times. So I'm not coming here to pretend to be some guru here. I'm just providing the news with you guys. And if you want to understand, you know, what's happening in the markets, this is the channel for you. Now, I've made a lot of money. I've lost a lot. I've lost a lot, but I'm detached from money completely emotionally. And there's times where it hurts. Like, you know, I'll lose like 100 grand on a trade or 200 grand or whatever. And it sucks. Don't get me wrong. But in my opinion, there's no yin without yang. There's no light without dark. There's no sun without moon. There's no up without down. So in order for you to make $1 million, you have to be okay with losing $1 million. In order for you to make $10 million, you have to be okay with losing $10 million. In order for you to make $100 million, at some point in your career, you're probably going to lose $100 million. Now, the sad reality is that 99% of people won't ever get past their first, I don't know, $1, $10 in crypto. 99% will lose all of their money. So how do you avoid the statistics here? Well, you pay close attention to what I'm going to share with you, okay? Because the Bank for International Settlements, which is the central bank of all central banks, the general manager is openly telling the world that the new financial system will be you being your own bank. The old system is virtually dead. And when we talk about what's being virtually dead in crypto in terms of stablecoins, USDT is next. Similar to what happened with FTX, guys, USDT is the next ticking time bomb. I've been talking about this for the past year, and it's happening right now. So go figure, I'm right. And I'm not right all the time, but the European Union is getting rid of USDT. They're delisting it from massive centralized exchanges, and a lot of whales are hedging out of the markets right now. Now, is that bad? In the short term, absolutely. It's disgusting, like I just said in the beginning of this video. But it's an opportunity, okay? The lower the markets go, it's a big opportunity. Now, here's some key things as we dive into the rest of this video. In 1996, like 4 years after I was born, because I'm a guppy in this world, I'm so young that I don't understand what it was like in the 1900s. We did some tours out here in Italy and got to see what the kings had to go through in the early 1900s, building these castles to defend from war, from invasions. And they didn't have cars, they didn't have the Finternet, they didn't have the Instagram to scroll through the TikToks to see the booty pics, okay? They didn't have all that stuff that you have today, all right? So when we talk about 1996, when that seems a long time ago, not even close. But there was a book called Digital Money describing XRP and Ripple almost 30 years ago. The idea, and it says, the idea of a single global currency, aka XRP, makes sense when paired with a global information infrastructure, Ripple, as a company that can move digital money around easily. And naturally, all of this will take a while to sort out. So when people watch these videos and they're like, this isn't true because XRP has done nothing, and yet they've only held XRP for a month or a year, or someone's like, I've held XRP for 5 years and it's done nothing. Okay, you guppy, 5 years? Come on, we're talking about centuries here of what's happened in the United States. Not only centuries, but we're the past few decades, 40 to 50 years of where Swift's taken over the world. Swift is completely going to change over the next few years. We're talking about 2025. So over the next couple of years, you're about to see some crazy-ish happen, okay? Some crazy stuff happen in the space. So do you really think that Bitcoin just appeared out of nowhere in 2009 and took the powers that be by total surprise? Absolutely not, guys. I covered that in a previous video. In fact, I talked about The Simpsons in terms of time travel, Freemasonry, all that stuff that you definitely want to check out. Go to videos, click on most viewed. I think it has not many views. It's like 50 or 60,000 views. So it's not one of the most viewed videos on the channel, but it's got a good amount of traffic. It's got a good amount of views. So definitely check that out. And I expose all of it. I'm exposing all of it on this channel. And again, it's all public information. So, you know, whatever. Come after me all you want. It's all public. It's out there. The Simpsons shares this in front of you. And it's called predictive programming, right? If you can predictively program people over the course of decades, then by the time you have full, credit score systems like what's over in China, total surveillance over your money, like what the Bank for International Settlements is planning, what CBDCs are, they're all planned out on what they want to do. Then by the time it actually happens decades later, everyone's used to it because they drip you with it. It just doesn't happen all at once, right? If it happens all at once, there will be civil unrest. People will be rioting in the streets because when you go from where your life is at right now tomorrow, and it's completely drastically different in terms of how you spend your money, where you go, where you shop, the total control that would take over your life basically on, what they want to do, well then, of course you're going to freak out, right? Well, if it happens day by day, slowly but surely over the course of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and you just don't get to see it, kind of like aging, right? When you look at yourself in the mirror every day, you wake up the next day, you look the same. The next day, you look the same. Well, 20 years later, you still look the same because it's dripped you with age, right? That's what they're doing right now in the financial system is time, okay? And a lot of newbies in the space don't understand what their game plan is over time. And so this is all part of a much bigger and older plan to gradually introduce the future financial system. Now, I'm not going to rant too much on opinions here because my opinions mean nothing unless they're backed by facts. And I will openly state that because I understand that I'm human and you're human and we can be wrong at times. So that's completely fine. So what we need to look at is facts, and we need to weigh based on risk and reward our strategy of what to do moving forward that I'm going to get into when we dive into the charts in a little bit. So Thailand is the latest country in talks with Ripple about adopting XRP. They just applied to join the BRICS nations. And as you guys know, BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. It should be BRICS with 2 S's because Saudi Arabia just joined, and the deal that just expired with the United States to broker deals for oil in the US dollar is now being shifted over to the yuan, over to China. And so now they're so happy that that deal is done because now they don't have to deal with sanctions from the United States. Because when Russia invaded Ukraine, guess what happened to them? Sanctioned, cut off from the SWIFT system, cut off from banking. So Vladimir Putin, do you think he's just going to sit back and be like, okay, you won? No, he's going to go and make meetings, right? And I'm not a communist here. I'm a capitalist. When I feel like it, you know, I'll wear my American flag sweatpants and I'll roundhouse you if you say otherwise. I believe in this country, but I see things how they are, just like you do, right? So it looks like the BRICS nations are all about what's about to happen for XRP, for Ripple, and I proved it in previous videos that I don't even need to discuss right now because we're talking about the stablecoin implosion that's about to start. Now, let me take a sip here, and I want you to look at this on the screen right now. All right, so MiCA. This is over in the European Union. The MiCA provisions on stablecoins will come into force on the 30th of June, 5 days from right now. And the whole regulation will come into force on the 31st of December, 2024. And so a lot of people like June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Yes, I still count on my fingers because I didn't graduate from college. I'm not as smart as you. So thank you for understanding. But European Union banks and institutions and current stablecoin issuers will start to mint trillions of euro-backed stablecoins, possibly as early as July. Expect the lion's share of stablecoins on networks that support high-speed, high-volume, low-cost retail transactions. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what blockchain technology provides that? Meanwhile, Stripe, PayPal, and Visa are rushing to take market share of the potential massive USDC transactions coming. So USDC is going to absorb a lot of capital from USDT, and we've been telling you guys this for a long period of time because trillions of dollars are going to be coming into the market, and USDT is a dead man walking. It's backed by, it's backed by mostly the US dollar. It's backed by bonds and other assets that are backing USDT, which are not really assets because an asset is something that's actually backed by something really tangible, and that's a store of value. And a treasury is really just like debt. It's the US dollar. So when liquidity comes across the closed loop of blockchain, it does not return to the closed loop of the banking system. It finds its way into crypto assets. Crypto market caps will appreciate in proportion to the stablecoin liquidity. So the European Union is kicking off that party June 30th, and by the end of this year, the party's going to be full swing. So this summer lull, so to speak, that's happening in the crypto market right now, of the sell-off taking place is normal. It's happened virtually every single bull run. And so how do you participate before the end of this year to be able to make a lot of money in the crypto market? Well, if you invest in the top stablecoin network narrative tokens before this happens, then you can make a lot of money. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Now, what we need to pay attention to, other than this whole stablecoin implosion, USDT being banned in the European Union, that's shifting over to USDC right now. Then Ripple is going to come out with real USD towards the end of this year, and then potential ETF for XRP by 2025. What do you think is going to happen, guys? And I'm going to discuss this in a little bit with the automated market makers and how that is potentially going to work with XRP and what central bankers are planning on doing. So you're going to love the end of this video, so pay close attention. But a major metric we need to pay close attention to is global liquidity. And so global liquidity comprises of, number one, central bank interventions. Number two, banks and shadow bank credit, corporate cash flow, collateral-based wholesale and repo market activity, which gets very complicated. So I'm going to simplify it for you because I need to simplify it for me because I'm kind of a dummy, right? I have 2 years of a college education, means I'm stupid, right? Because if I don't have a college degree, I'm dumb, which makes sense. And I agree with you if you think that way. Number three, net foreign flows. So what we're going to focus on here is how do you make money in these markets based on this right now. So global liquidity, simply put, is the flow of cash and credit throughout the international financial system. And so it's important to note that global liquidity does not equate to money supply. This is where people confuse the two right here. And I've definitely confused the two because I just never understood how money worked growing up because it was never taught to me in college. It was never taught to me in high school. The stuff that was taught to me was how to memorize who won the Battle of Bunker Hill. And if I memorized that, yeah, I got an A on a test, but did that help my finances? Of course it didn't, because of various reasons that I'm not going to get into in this video. But interestingly, global liquidity has a significant correlation with global asset prices. This means that changes in global liquidity can be a useful leading indicator for asset price movements. And so the reason why you want to pay attention to global liquidity rather than focusing on like money supply, what the Fed is doing, is because of the banana zone, what Raoul Paul talks about. And so when we look at the global liquidity index, it talks about the long-term cycle, and this is based on the Financial Times. The source is cross-border capital, the recurring 65-month cycle. This goes back right now on this chart to the year 2000, but it actually goes back even further than this. And you can see in the long-term cycle in gray when global liquidity peaks. And when global liquidity peaks, that's when market cycles top out. As you can see in 2021, it peaks. Crypto market topped out. Stock market topped out. Markets tanked after that. Bear market 2022, right? People were losing money rapidly. Tourism was down. Everything was just bad. People weren't making money in general. I met with a banker at Chase, and JP Morgan clients that invest $5 million, $10 million. He showed me his portfolio in 2022. They lost like 77% of people's portfolio. JP Morgan Chase, the largest bank in the world, lost. It was like 70 something percent. Don't quote me on that. I mean, correct me in the comments below, but it was somewhere around there. I don't know, maybe it was 67%, 77 or 87%. Either way, it was above 50%. That's bad. 2022, global liquidity decreased. Look at what's happening right now. Global liquidity is on the uprise. So for people that are fearful right now in the crypto market, well, let's bring up the charts. Let's talk about how this relates to Bitcoin. Then let's bring this back into XRP and let's discuss this, because as stablecoins, the whole stablecoin narrative starts to shift, well, USDT imploding is actually good for the crypto market because it's going to shift to Ripple with their real USD, and that's going to benefit XRP long term. But there's going to be some big shakeouts, some major shakeouts that you need to be ready for. And those shakeouts that are coming, well, let's discuss them. So right now, when we look at the chart right here and we see Bitcoin on the monthly, and we bring up the RSI right now. So the RSI in the monthly in March breached upwards of 76. It was in overbought territory, but it wasn't up near the all-time high, or not the all-time high, the previous high for February of 2021, which was the true technical high. But the previous all-time high after that, the RSI was all the way upwards of 95, 90 right here. The last bull run before then was upwards of 94, 95. And so we just barely tapped, like 70 something, 77. And then we're trending back down right now. So what I think is going to happen, very, very simple. I think we're going to bounce at some point. Now, if we drop a little bit lower, that's fine. I don't care. But I think we're going to bounce and we're going to work our way through here. And then we're going to peak out. And then we're going to see a nasty market crash by 2026. So to simplify this video, this is what I think is going to happen. Something like this. It's not going to look exactly like this, but this is just a healthy correction right now. And so with global liquidity, we can look at what's happened with these yellow arrows you can see on the chart. Well, when the market peaked out back in the 1st of December of 2017, look at what happened with global liquidity. Global liquidity peaked out by the 1st of March of 2018 when the market was in a downtrend. And when the market was in a downtrend, global liquidity was in a downtrend. Super simple, easy to understand, right? Because I'm a dummy, I'm kind of stupid, I can simplify things. And so when the market was in an uptrend, look at what happened with global liquidity. It absolutely surged. It skyrocketed. It went to the upside. Well, that's when I was investing into crypto 2020. And then the markets pulled an insane growth, insane valuation. I mean, Bitcoin went from, COVID lows, $3,000 upwards of $60,000. I mean, come on, man. You can believe Warren Buffett all you want and say it's rat poison and you wouldn't touch it, but if you would have bought it at $3,000 and sold at $65,000, you could have bought some villas around the world. You could have bought some gold. You could have, retired. So should you have listened to Warren Buffett, or should you have done something that would allow you to retire? The answer is obvious. Sometimes when you listen to someone who has a lot of money and they're in the old world, well, they have narratives that they have to uphold, meaning they have shareholders they have to make happy. So for example, Warren Buffett or JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, right? if he's going to talk good about crypto, what is all the investors in his bank in Chase stock going to do? They're going to sell the stock and they're going to put it in crypto. So he has a bias. So you have to see through the BS, right? And that's what we're helping you do. And so as global liquidity increased right here by 1st of February 2022, well, look at that. Global liquidity peaked out after the crypto market peaked out in November. Once it crashed, the crypto market crashed. All right. Actually, crypto market crashed first, then global liquidity went down. And so the real question right now is, will global liquidity continue with downtrend? Because as you can see, it's been in a downtrend since the 1st of February. It hasn't, global liquidity hasn't passed the previous all-time high. Whereas crypto and Bitcoin has. So lots of money is being rotated right now. They're prepping for something. What are they prepping for? Are they prepping to dump on your face? Or are they prepping for Bitcoin are they prepping to dump on your face right now? Or are they prepping for Bitcoin to go even higher? Now, we need to look at other data here right now, because as Bitcoin hovers near its all-time high, similar to what happened in past bull run cycles, the RSI is at 64 right now, experiencing a healthy correction in my opinion. Personally, I feel like we're going to continue to the upside, but let's look at this. Okay, let's look at the DXY. As you guys can see here, when global liquidity decreased, the dollar compared to other currencies increased. When global liquidity increased, the DXY decreased. And so you can see this period where the DXY moves inversely to crypto for the most part. Now there are short-term temporary periods where they move together, but on the macro, on the monthly chart, you guys can see that as global liquidity decreased, the DXY increased. And so the DXY right now is in this bullish channel. Now, there's big talks about the dollar losing its power and its hedge money to the BRICS nations, and that's very true. It can't be denied, because the deal expired with Saudi Arabia to broker deals for petroleum and oil, and now they're doing it with China. So eventually something's going to shift. Now the United States won't just completely disappear, obviously. It's going to remain a powerhouse country, but in my opinion, they're probably not going to be number one forever. Obviously, that's a fact, right? Based on what's happened with previous global reserve currencies. Now that could be different this time. Hey, maybe the United States remains a global powerhouse forever, but that's not going to happen. Just based on facts, right? Historically, it's never happened actually. So maybe this is the first time ever that an ice age happens, right? You never know. Or summer just stays forever and we don't go into fall, winter, or spring, or any of those other seasons, right? So right now, in my opinion, global liquidity will bounce. And when global liquidity bounces and it surges back to the upside, the DXY will decline and we'll see a sell-off back to this ascending support right here. And so we're right in the middle right now for the DXY, and that's why a lot of people are hedging out of crypto, because there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. But this is one thing that we need to look at on the Bitcoin price chart to understand all of crypto. It's Bitcoin on the daily, zooming more in, right? Because we're on the macro, we're on the monthly on what's going to happen with global liquidity, but looking on the daily right now, well, Bitcoin on the RSI right now is at, if I move my camera here, it's at 33 on the RSI, and it was at like 27 a little bit ago, somewhere around there. But you can see when Bitcoin is breached below 30, there's been massive fear in the markets. Everyone said right here in 11th of November 2022, people are saying, oh no, Bitcoin's going to $12,000. When did I buy Bitcoin? I bought Bitcoin. I sold Bitcoin at $57,000, and I bought it back again and again at $16,400 to $16,700. So I bought back in again right here because I saw this fear, and I was waiting to see if the market was going to crash lower, and it didn't. It just consolidated sideways, and I saw the RSI. I saw the RSI trending up. I'm like, okay. We were right about at, when I started buying again, the RSI was right below 50. So I started buying in right here. I was like, you know what, even if it dips lower, so what? Like, it's going to rebound. The bear market bottom is going to be in at some point. And sure enough, hey, that was a good entry point. Sure, it could have dipped lower, could have gone to 12K, but the fear, here's my case in point here. And this is a fact, okay? I'm going to look at fact, truth. That's what I want to look at, okay? And that's what I want to provide to you. So fear, right here, November 2022, Bitcoin was at 15 to 16, 17K, right around here. Best time to back up the truck. No financial advice, that's just a fact, right? You could lose all of your money, but I'm not a financial advisor. So My lawyer told me to tell you I don't know what I'm talking about, right? The market's rallied up here, $25,000. Greed. Look at the RSI. The RSI was upwards of 87. Whales were hedging. Now, the best time to make money in the market is over time. When you try and time the market, you get wrecked. So time in the markets beats timing the markets. So if you sell right here at greed, sure, you can try and time fear again, and you could buy when the RSI is below 30 on the daily. You could do that. And hey, that would have been a smart move. I mean, you would have bought 19,600, sell at 25K, buy 19,600. But then again, the RSI bounced back again. The price went up back into greed, 31,000. We saw this consolidation period. The RSI didn't quite breach below 30, bounced up again to 31,000, sold back down. Then the RSI dropped all the way down to like 20 something. Now, here's the real thing here to understand, okay? On the daily, the last time the RSI has been below 30 is back in August of 2023. When it dipped here, it consolidated for, it looks like about 64 days, 2 months. 2 months. Okay, so we just dipped recently below 30. So 2 months, let's just say 60 days from right now, would be August of 2024. Now, interesting how all this stablecoin stuff is happening right now. Now, interesting how we went from January of 2024 upwards of $75,000. Look at what happened in the RSI. Just match these points on the chart with my crosshairs here. You can pause this video. The RSI went upwards of 86. We were in overbought conditions all the way up here, even right here at $68,000. We pushed a little bit higher. We saw this divergence, all right? We went all the way up here, and then we saw another divergence where we saw lower highs on the RSI. We were seeing higher highs on the price chart, which was signaling that a correction was coming. Sure enough, that happened. It was relatively quick after the ETFs, right? The sell the news event, and then we rocketed on out of here. So right now, this is no different in my opinion. I don't feel any fear whatsoever because I look at where the most amount of fear is, and I just like train myself to feel the opposite, right? Because if I feel the opposite, then I know I'm going to make millions of dollars. If I feel what everyone else is feeling, then I'm going to be a part of the 99%. Really simple. It's not hard, right? Success in business is easy. And like I said, I'm not a guru because I'm not a billionaire yet, but I've done pretty well. And I'm going to continue to do well because I can train myself to just feel the opposite. It's simple. Just do the opposite of what people think. It's real simple. And you understand that. So where's the RSI right now? Okay, we're at 34. Now that doesn't mean that we're just going to bounce out of here right away, right? We're not just going to do what this arrow shows right here. This is just an example. We might, pop up a little bit, then come back down. We might come down here. We might come even lower, see another shakeout event. Maybe Bitcoin comes back up a little bit to 61, 62K, fakes everyone out, drops down to 50K, and then tries to work its way out of here and do something. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but there's going to be a bounce at some point. I know there will. And long term, obviously it's not going to look like what I just drew up on the screen. This is really sloppy, chicken scratch right here, but we're in fear. So if you plan on day trading the markets, you just buy when the daily RSI is below 30 and you sell when it's above 80 based on facts. Now, that's not me telling you what to do. That's just what the whales are saying to do. And then on the macro scale, well, are we still in a bull run? Or is the crash happening right now? Well, the latest steepening of the U.S. Treasury yield curve confirms that U.S. liquidity has been improving for some months. Evidence in the chart below where our index of U.S. liquidity has been advanced by 9 months to show that it is predictive. It fills the coffers of Salmon's trades, but for years we've puzzled over why this linkage should exist. Now, what does that mean? Well, it just simply means that global liquidity is going up. According to the data right here on the chart of cross-border capital, the global liquidity cycle should peak around September of 2025, following its December 2022 trough. Now, this is based back all the way on this chart. Remember, the chart I showed you previously was the year 2000, dot-com bubble boom. This chart right here is 1968, 65 months worth of waves here, and we're just popping back up. I'm bullish. I don't know about you, man, but I'm feeling spicy, okay? And it's not just the wine. Now, infrastructure capital is estimating a $2 trillion liquidity injection. Hold on, I gotta close this door real quick. So mind the crotch shot as I get up from the computer. Oh, we got a high-speed chase going on. Similar to what happens in Miami sometimes, all right? Got high-speed chases happening. Now, central banks in 2024, liquidity injection. Global monetary base update through February of 2024 is going to be massive. And what's happening behind closed door meetings is they're preparing for this, guys. I've told you, Ripple is on NDAs with these companies, okay, with central banks, with massive institutions. There's over 1,000 NDAs, close to 2,000 now. So there's a lot of proof out there that these closed door meetings are supporting the crypto narrative, and they're openly stating that use cases will propel this market forward. And so right here, Cypress, Domanicore, what a name. I don't even know what that means. But XRP, XLM, HBAR, Quant. Remember what Brad said on this podcast right here.
In the long run, I think the best technologies applied with the best use cases, delivering the best utility, that they'll win.
We've seen this ecosystem, the blockchain ecosystem, evolve over the past decade and a bit. The narratives have come and gone. We started up with the Bitcoin narrative. We moved through the ICO narrative, moved to NFTs, and now we're seeing all the hype has been and left the system, and we're actually now seeing real value, real fundamentals becoming the dominant narrative as it's moving in.
You know, you are seeing a lot of politics play in some of the challenges, but I will tell you that at least behind closed doors, we are finding much more open ears, and now the fact that you have use cases that are showing real results is really helping propelling this forward.
So Brad also said, as many people have noticed, and some have already pointed out, there have been numerous misleading and some factual inaccurate headlines describing the decisions made by a California judge in a class action lawsuit about XRP. So he's happy to correct some of them. He wished he could tag and link all of them here. He says, to be absolutely clear, it's a big win. 4 out of the 5 claims in the lawsuit were dismissed, and absolutely nothing in the decision negates or changes the fact that XRP is in and of itself not a security. That can't be said for a lot of projects out there. You know, Solana being one of them that's come recently under regulatory scrutiny, could become public here soon. Dealing with Sam Bankman-Fried, them pumping that up. I talked about in that previous video with Internet Computer, ICP, at about $3. ICP rallied upwards of $12, $15. Now it's correcting right now. But ICP, I think, has a long-term future, and they suppressed ICP to boost Solana. So there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that you guys don't know, that you don't understand. A lot of it that I can't tell you right now because of different reasons, but I will tell you what I do know and what's public information here that I'm allowed to share with you, okay? I'm very, very bullish on Ripple. I'm very, very bullish on XRP. And as for the single state law claim that will now be scheduled for trial, the sole plaintiff didn't buy XRP directly from Ripple and can't say if he even heard the statement before he traded and only owned a couple hundred XRP. This was a clear example of the trolls that unsuccessfully tried to take advantage of the US legal system and distort statements to seek hundreds of millions in class action settlements. And lastly, regarding any misleading statements, Brad stands by what he said and is looking forward to shedding light on that during the trial. And so everyone is waiting for the judge to make the final decision. And Brad joined CNBC to discuss how the crypto industry is coming together to be a force in the 2024 elections. Now, obviously, you guys know this is all part of the plan. Ripple has been said to be an arm and a branch of the US government, and it all goes back to David Schwartz's patent, the document back in 1996, and all of a sudden how to make a mints popping out, the NSA, all that crazy stuff that I showed you that people are calling a conspiracy theory doesn't seem like much of a conspiracy theory anymore.
This is an industry that has been behind in Washington and really been on the defensive from some, I think, uneducated and sometimes intentionally or not, I'm not sure, but really those who are trying to kill crypto in the United States at a time when we want the U.S. to be one of the financial centers of this next generation technology.
So when we look at Ripple XRP coming out with their AMM, their automated market makers providing liquidity in the XRP Ledger's decentralized exchange, each AMM holds a pool of 2 assets. You can swap between the 2 assets at an exchange rate set by a formula that they put together. So let's cover this really quick, and then let me explain my thoughts on this, what maybe will happen next. And I could be wrong here, but those who deposit assets into an automated market maker are called liquidity providers. Now in return, liquidity providers receive what's called LP tokens for from the automated market maker. Now, this is not a new concept. This is something that's been around for a while in DeFi, decentralized finance, but liquidity pool tokens enable liquidity providers to, number one, redeem their LP tokens for a share of the assets in the AMM pool, including fees collected, which would be like XRP, and voting to change the AMM fee settings, each vote weighted by how many LP tokens the voter holds. And so, do you guys think that central banks that have billions of dollars, when they see what's about to happen for XRP with Ripple partnering, do you think that they wouldn't want to earn as many XRP as possible before the price suppression stops and the lawsuit is over? I don't know. You tell me. To have as many votes as possible in the new financial system so the United States can't sanction them to do deals cross-border for oil, other assets. Do you think that they would want a part in that? You tell me. So they can also bid some of the LP tokens to receive a temporary discount on the AMM trading fees. So in my opinion, what is going to happen next is a lot of these central banks, a lot of these hedge funds, a lot of these whales, market makers are going to be diving full-fledged into real USD paired to XRP in the later stage of this year going into 2025, and you have to be ready for it, because to benefit from XRP's AMM, when you're looking at XRP's market cap dominance right now, it's absolutely disgusting. It's down at 1.19%. It's been in a downtrend for a long period of time. Now, this is actually a good thing in my opinion, because like I said in the beginning of this video, you have to look at the masses and do the opposite of the idiots. You have to do what the smart people do. You have to do what the wealthy people do. And that doesn't make you pompous, that makes you smart, okay? Deprogram your limiting beliefs. Get them out of your head right now and look at this, all right? We're sitting on the RSI, on the weekly, at 27 right now for XRP's market cap dominance. What does that mean? XRP is drastically oversold compared to the rest of the market. And I know I've been screaming this for a long period of time, and a lot of people think that when I say this stuff, if I said it a month ago, of course the comments are going to come through saying like, XRP is still down there, you know, and they're like, selling, good, get out. We don't need you. In fact, don't buy, don't sell anything I talk about. Just get out now, get out of here. Because when this bottoms out, which it will, if it hasn't yet already, there will be a reversal at some point that happens for XRP, and it will trade to the upside. And the dominance will rise for XRP. The RSI will rise. This happens every single time based on facts, not my opinions, based on facts. When the RSI dips down below 30, you know, after a long period of a downtrend, sure, back in, you know, August 2019, you know, we saw a continuation of the downtrend even after the RSI was down here. So some people argue that XRP is just going to keep doing this. It's just going to keep making a forever downtrend. Now, that would be the first time ever. So I just base this on facts, all right? While most people out there are getting wrecked right now buying celebrity meme coins, for example, Andrew Tate, he said, I told you I'd blow crypto up. And I didn't know that his plan, you know, I commented this, Bull Runners HQ, go comment on this. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Twitter on his most recent post right here on Cobra Tate. And I said, you absolutely nuked it. Great job. Obviously, it was sarcasm because RNT is down 80%. So he absolutely nuked his own project, and who knows how many people got scammed in this crap right here that absolutely tanked. And so when you look at XRP, people are pissed at XRP, but XRP has actually held its own in comparison to Bitcoin. Even though it's been underperforming Bitcoin for a period of time, XRP's been holding steady. It's actually been increasing over the past year. So XRP was what, 25 cents? Close to 50 cents, is up 2x still, while the rest of the market's getting nuked. So a lot of people are hating on XRP, when in reality, you haven't lost money if you've been holding XRP for over a year or two. And so a lot of people that are just buying the peaks, they're not paying attention to these videos, they get wrecked. Look at XRP, the Bitcoin price chart. When is the best time to back up the truck historically? Well, it's when XRP is underperforming Bitcoin. It falls back down into this zone of support right here. It's when the RSI is below 30 and arguably even closer to 20. But look at this. Where are we right now in comparison to Bitcoin compared to the past? Well, when you look at December of 2020, before XRP absolutely erupted, it took off, dude. It took off. Look at back in February 2017. It took off. Look all the way back in June of 2014. Timestamp these dates. Go back on the chart yourself. Do your own research. It took off. So when this bottoms out, what's going to happen? It's going to take off. That's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. But I know what I hold, and you should too. So if you're ready to become the first millionaire in your family tree with crypto, and you want to get early access to our underground guidebook to become a crypto millionaire when it's released, then all you need to do right now is go to bullrunners.com and you're going to get exclusive early access to alerts on explosive altcoins with timely notifications about high potential projects before they hit the mainstream market. You're also going to get access to daily market analysis videos where you can watch daily videos like this to stay up to date on the latest trends and updates in the cryptocurrency market. And you're also going to receive pro trading strategies and tools for you to access proven trading tips and institutional grade indicators to refine your trading strategy. So don't miss out on the launch of our new underground guidebook called Altcoin Secrets that's going to help you discover the next 100x altcoin. All you need to do to get early access is go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address, and you'll be instantly subscribed for the early bird list when it's released. We know you're going to love it.